Today we're going to make a snail, not just any snail, really, really, really colorful snail. Are you with me? Stick around. I bought this cute little snail planter. It ends up being a planter. This part is there because when you pour it, you're going to pour from this side and it sits up straight. Now, me being me, I don't want this to just be, you know, a one-colored snail. I considered, I've seen some people paint mica powders or color shift, chameleon powders and things in there, and they're very, very, very pretty. But I want his shell to be shell. So I have a ton of shell. And the problem with trying to do it in two parts that way is because if you notice, if I were to pour the shell, I'd only be able to go up that far, which is the middle of his neck, before it would, you know, the resin would interfere. So what I'm going to try to do is build a dam there so that I'll pour the shell first and then the rest of his head and neck and all that. So let's get started. I found in my stash of craft supplies this amazing mold putty, and I built a little dam in that area where we needed to block it. It didn't say what this putty turns into, and it must have silicone in it because where it didn't stick to the resin, it stuck to the silicone. So I ruined the mold. So I had another mold. I accidentally ordered two of these molds. Come on, you know you all do it. Don't try and tell me you absolutely never order two of the same molds. I did. And I was planning on sending it back, but it ended up, it came in handy. So I had heard or experienced or whatever that plastic is supposed to not stick to resin because, you know, we're able to do that technique with plastic wrap to make to put it on the top and make a velvet technique. But I thought to myself, okay, well, what is that plastic made of? Like what, you know, all of this stuff, a lot of this stuff is science. And that's why myself and many other resin creators implore to you to use gloves and things. All of these things are chemicals. Plastic is made of chemicals, and they are chemical components that come together. Resin is just plastic, that it's a different, you know, kind of plastic. So I have a lot of these little containers and things around my house because, I mean, I bring them to my craft room because once they're finished in the kitchen, you know, we all get, who knows what came in this, I don't know, fruit or something. Once we get these, you know, why put them in a landfill when we can use them for other purposes? And it's always good to have something around that, you know, you can use. So I thought, well, how do I find out what kind of plastics this is? And it's actually pretty daggone simple. We all know about the recycle little mark that's in plastic. See the little triangle? That's what tells us in our area what we can put in our recycle bin. See, it's right under my finger. You can see it says PETE. And I just Googled PETE plastic and looked it up, and it is a type of plastic, which I'm going to put on the screen because now I don't remember what it's called. Polyethylene, I believe. It's a type of plastic that is supposed to not stick to resin. So, yippee, let's move ahead. I cut a piece, just sort of worked on it, cut a piece, I hope you can see it, goes down and around that curve. And what I'm going to do is UV resin that in here. Are y'all with me on are you with me on this journey? This should be entertaining. So first of all, I'm gonna take it out of there for this part of it. I am using Let's Resin's high viscosity resin because high viscosity, see it on the front? High viscosity means that it's gonna stay put for more milliseconds than it would. It moves a lot slower, it's a lot thicker, and it's going to not move. Now, I have a little light that came with my bonding resin, my Let's Resin bonding resin, and I'm just going to cure that in place. And hope it stays down to the resin. So on this one, I'm going to try to do the resin mostly behind it because, yeah, I even thought that far ahead. I feel like it's in place. I feel that, you know, once resin hits that resin, it might be a little bit hard to get it off of that. If the resin that's on the inside against the shell, that those two things may cure together. And they very well might. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it if we do. And then, since I have that part done, I want to make sure this is just sealed within an inch of its little resin life. And I'm just going to try to put some down in there. And I'm trying so hard not to disrupt the seal that I just did. It would be easier to do this on the inside, but I am not convinced that it wouldn't cure to the shell resin. If it does, I sort of have a contingency plan where I could maybe cut that off, and I doubt that it would even be seen. I mean, you know, at this point, I don't know, we're going to cross that bridge when we come to it, but I'm considering leaving this in there because I just feel like, you know, if you look at the mold, I'm going to pick it up ever so gently. If you look at the mold and the shell, you know, comes up to here, and then the snail I'm going to do in mica powder, so it's going to be opaque. So I really don't think that this is going to, that barrier, since it's clear, will even be visible. Okay, before we totally begin, I used this green the last time. Green glitter. It's the Let's Resin, their mixology glitter. And I also used, I think I used this, the champagne gold, because it'll bring out the oranges, colors in here, hopefully. Whoa. Alrighty. The last time, I wanted it to be on the rim of the piece, and I'm looking for the piece that didn't work out, you know. It ended up, it did not sink down there. So I'm gonna do something a little bit extra to have that rim, because I think that would be very sweet. So I'm gonna mix it around. Oh Lord, I just spilled some. Of course, because why not? I'm gonna make some fall down there. whether it wants to or not. Now this is going to be all mixed in with the shell, so it doesn't matter that I'm getting some, you know, on this inside part, or doesn't really matter. If you haven't seen my channel before, I always feel the need to explain that I have pretty significant carpal tunnel syndrome, and sometimes, depending on the day or the hour, my hands shake. So I just want to explain something that I made a mistake. I was recording, as you saw, I was mixing in the shell, and then my timer went off, and I turned off the timer, but I didn't realize it was turning off my recording. So I missed recording pouring the shell into the snail. I'm so sorry. But what I did was I spooned it in so that I had a nice mix of resin with the shell, because had I just poured it in, I was going to have much more resin that was going to rise. While I was doing that, it went down, a little tiny bit of it went down this side of the barrier. So I propped up the head of the snail and also the base a little tiny bit, because what I didn't know till I poured liquid in it is that it does slope like so incrementally. It's ridiculous. These are also little tiny candle holders. I had a lot left over on the last pour that I did, and I just needed to top those off. And I had just enough resin out of that 5 ounces with the shell mixed in to top off, or, you know, finish off these little candle holders. So that's what I did with the extras from both times that I poured this. I just wanted all of you to know, I'm trying to keep things clear and cohesive, and, you know, explain exactly what I did. I came back in to check on it, and I thought, well, it's very sticky right now, but let me try to fill in some gaps, because it's super sticky, and there are some gaps that where remember I said I need the body to meet the shell. So in doing it this way, putting some up against these sides, it's going to allow, because you're not going to see any of this middle, it's going to be covered with mica powder, well, and resin. So that's what I'm doing now. This is cured, although it feels a little bit soft, which is not a bad thing. Boy, let's get some of the mess a little bit gone. Can move these. That's not really the focus. I'll take out one of our little reinforcements. Take out the other reinforcement. This is fully stuck. Like, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And now that this is pulled away from here, I'm considering putting some UV resin in there, just on this shell part, and curing that up against there, because the mica that I put in there is going to go down in there and leak. And then we did all this for absolutely nothing. Trying to see how much and I'm kind of thinking if I do some UV resin, at least seal that up, that might do it. And then this part, maybe just cutting that off. Use it as a barrier. I had considered that as well. Okay, let's push it in. It's smushy and squishy. Just to reinforce that that seal on that mold. Hope that works, because this is clear. You know, I could have just edited this video and gone, oh, this was my plant. No, I wouldn't do that. Because I like to show, you know, kind of what works and what doesn't work. And as I've said a million times before, a lot of us, when we craft, we don't know what's going to happen. You know, I don't sell my things, so it's not like usually when I make something, I haven't made it 47 times before. This is the one and only time that it, you know, popped into my little brain and I decided to do it. So, you know, some techniques are not tried and true. Okie doke, so have some Let's Resin 1:1 regular epoxy. I have 7 ounces. Common sense was telling me to do 6 ounces, but when I'm not sure, I go more, because you never know. And I'd rather just be here, be in the middle of doing it, and have enough, and then I'll deal with the extra, you know, as it comes, then have to mix more. But if I have to mix more, that'll be all right too. I mean, come on, it's a project. First world problems, right? Go down into his tentacles and squeeze them. Then pour down in there, if you can see. There you go. I have dog hair on me. Not in my house, no. Dog hair, never. It's never a thing. Guys have animals? Yep, I pretty much just pay the bills and drive the car and all the things. I don't really run things around here. How are we looking, people? How's that side looking? Oh, it looks like that little bit of UV resin. Oh, I got it on my glove. Whew, thank goodness. Now, what I'm noticing is that is up to its very, very rim. And this side needs more. What I'm going to do is gently prop it up a little bit. Might have to do 2 sticks worth. We'll see in a second. I think I am gonna have to do 2 sticks worth, because see how this, I mean, you might be able to see, this is at the very top, like it's domed, but this side is not. So let's prop it some more. This is, it's not domed, it's very close to domed. 1 second though, I have a bubble over here, and I don't want to spray it with alcohol because that will break the surface tension and possibly make it flow over. So if it's domed, don't spray it. And we're ready for demold. Everybody's favorite part of the project. I'm so excited. So excited. Now to figure out how to get it out. Not as hard as I thought it was going to be. Ooh, sparkle. That's pretty. Ooh, a little bit stretchy. And this is, it feels pretty solid in the rest of them, but oh boy. Oh no, don't let me rip his eyes off. Come on now. Oh boy. I almost thought about making it go back and letting it sit a few more hours, because I'm stretching these and just mangling them. And maybe if I put it back on his head, just over his face. Let it sit some more. It will harden them up again. It's been 10 hours later, and they seem, they're harder, but this one's still wiggly. Oh boy. I was thinking about it. You know, I was all day. And I thought, well, if worse comes to worse and I were to regretfully somehow tear them off, what I would do is fix them with UV resin. You notice how low my voice is. It's almost like I feel like the snail knows if I talk really low, maybe it won't happen, but let's let's just go for it. You ready? So there's something for being brave and just going for it. Now, unfortunately, that looks terrible. It's totally twisted and weird. Okay, you knew it couldn't be over, right? I mean, come on, we're getting to know each other now. I realized that I had this, the original mold that I ruined by trying to make that dam, and then that stuck to the silicone. What I did was I cut the head off of this. No snails were harmed in making this video. And then I got it back on, and it was really difficult because since it wasn't just, I figured out it wasn't just his antlers, it was his head, like it was all crushed in. And I think that's because, remember, I left that part real tight up there because I couldn't get it down to let it sit for the rest of the day. Pretty sure that's what did that. But, man, this is a big lesson to me to not mess around like that. But anyway, normally you really shouldn't try to pour like this, but I'm going to try to. I lined it up with his mouth, I think. Pretty sure. And I'm going to try to pour back in there, down into here, down into here. I just have a little bit of 1 hour fast cure by Promise. And I'm going to mix in the parakeet green again. At least I didn't mix colors, which would have been, you know, even more difficult. I don't know if you can see, but I am going to try to get this down past this glob of silicone before I squeeze the stuff in there. I am not going to just cure this for 1 hour. I'm probably going to leave it for a couple days. But this 1 hour fast cure is very, 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 very runny. And I thought if I had, you know, if there was any chance of getting something down there, it was going to be with something really, really, really thin and runny. One second. It's getting slippery now.
I'm Carter B, and this is my big brother Hux. We're not allowed in the room when she works on resin, so the faster you like and subscribe, the sooner we get to hang out with our mom. Go ahead and do it. Help some cute little dogs out, would ya?
And there's a poor guy. There's the top of the head. Oh, it looks like, oh yay, that's going down into the, yay. I think it is seeping down into those eyes, antlers, eyes, things. And that was the one that was almost twisted off, that one on the left. The snail's right, my left. So it looks like that got down in there. I just saw new gloopy resin go down in there. I saw that. And this one looks like it's going too. Okay. We might have saved him. Well, I mean, it already was saved. I mean, come on. The snail was still going to live a nice life regardless. And now the moment of truth. Let's all collectively cross our fingers. You can see that some leaked out over here. Oh, little guy. Little creature. We sure have been through the trenches. Some of it is stuck in there in that weird crease. Oh boy. Pardon the noise in the background, my air purifier's going off. I just sprayed alcohol a few seconds ago. And if you want the thing to go off, spray alcohol. It'll go off. Or come on, rather. Oh, look at that crease. Oh boy. See? You can believe I'm going to file that down. Now that comes off. It wouldn't come off before, but now it's all coming off. Get ready. Please let your face look good. Please let your face look good. There is that crease. Remember I said I saw a crease in the back? Okay, good vibes for a good face. Well, there we go. We fixed him, her. It's fixed. I'm gonna get I will get out my tool. Now I can't think of the name of the tool. You know, sander grinder thing. Get that off of there, right here. I betcha. Well, of course it's in the hardest place to reach. Of course it is, because this is the snail. Why wouldn't it be in the hardest place to reach? You know what I mean? Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. Stay tuned for some better shots. Be sure to like and subscribe, and take care.